Understanding CVE 2024-5947. In this course titled CVE-5947, Deep Dive into Exploitation and Mitigation, we will explore a critical vulnerability that has significant implications for Deep Sea Electronics DSE855 devices. Specifically, we will be identifying and mitigating a missing authentication issue that opens these devices to various attack vectors. This deep dive will help us understand the mechanics of the vulnerability, the potential exploits, and the necessary steps to safeguard affected systems. We'll address how network-adjacent attackers can leverage this vulnerability to gain unauthorized access and disclose sensitive information. By the end of this course, you will be equipped with the knowledge to effectively recognize and counteract the threats posed by CVE 2024-5947. This understanding is vital for ensuring the security and integrity of your systems. The importance of understanding CVE 2024-5947 cannot be overstated, especially considering the critical nature of this vulnerability affecting DSE855 devices. This security flaw allows network-adjacent attackers to disclose sensitive information, which poses a significant risk. In terms of relevance, the impact on confidentiality is high. While the overall CVSS score is medium at 6.5, the potential damage makes it crucial for security professionals to fully comprehend and effectively mitigate this vulnerability. Understanding the specifics of CVE 2024-5947 will equip you with the necessary knowledge to protect your systems and ensure the confidentiality of sensitive data stored within DSE855 devices. This deep dive will help you grasp both the exploitation techniques and the mitigation strategies essential for safeguarding against this type of security threat. Let's delve into the specifics of CVE 2024-5947. This vulnerability primarily affects Deep Sea Electronics DSE855 devices, making them susceptible to attacks. The attack vector is network adjacent, meaning an attacker needs to be within the same network to exploit the vulnerability. The Common Vulnerability Scoring System rates this threat as 6.5, which is categorized as medium. The issue stems from a lack of authentication in the web-based user interface. This lapse allows malicious actors to access stored credentials without proper verification. In essence, attackers can exploit this to gain unauthorized access to sensitive information, posing a significant threat to system security. Understanding these details is crucial for anyone involved in maintaining the security of these devices. Let's delve into the technical breakdown of CVE 2024-5947. This vulnerability stems from missing authentication, specifically classified under CVE-306, which is crucial for accessing configuration backups. This flaw is present in the web-based user interface of Deep Sea Electronics DSE855 devices. The significance of this vulnerability can't be overstated. An attacker can exploit the lack of authentication to access stored credentials, potentially leading to further compromises. Essentially, this weakness allows adversaries to obtain critical information, which can in turn escalate to full system access if leveraged correctly. Understanding these details helps underscore the severity and potential impact of this medium-level vulnerability, highlighting why addressing it should be a priority. On this slide, we're going to discuss an exploitation example to demonstrate the vulnerability in a practical scenario. Here, we provide a proof-of-concept POC for how this vulnerability can be exploited using a simple HTTP GET. For instance, an attacker can use the following command with curl to download sensitive data: bash curl datexget target IP /backup.bin. This HTTP GET request allows bypassing any authentication mechanisms entirely and directly accessing configuration backups that may contain critical information, like stored credentials. The lack of authentication, which we discussed earlier, means that anyone with network access to the target can easily execute this command and retrieve the sensitive data without any barriers. This showcases the severity of the vulnerability and underlines the critical need for proper authentication mechanisms to protect such sensitive endpoints. On this slide, we will be focusing on tools for detection, specifically using Nmap. Nmap stands out as a powerful network scanning tool that not only detects open ports, but also identifies running services. Here are a couple of example commands you can use. 1. For a basic scan to identify the services running on the target, Nmap-SV target IP. 2. If you're looking to scan for web vulnerabilities, Nmap can also be utilized with specific scripts. Nmap script HTTP auth target IP. These commands help in quickly identifying potential vulnerabilities by highlighting important service information and probing for specific security weaknesses, like weak HTTP authentication mechanisms. Nuclei, like Nmap, is another powerful tool used for network security assessments, but with a specific focus on vulnerability scanning. It allows for the identification of known vulnerabilities by employing a range of customizable templates. With Nuclei, you can customize your scans to target specific vulnerabilities, such as CVE-2024-5947. This is particularly useful when you're aware of particular threats that may affect your systems and want to conduct a thorough scan to identify any potential exposure. Using a custom template in Nuclei for this specific CVE involves using the command nuclei-cve-2024-5947.yaml target IP. This command directs Nuclei to run a scan on a specified target IP using a template designed for CVE-2024-5947. By doing so, it attempts to detect if the vulnerability exists within that target, providing valuable insights that can lead to timely remediation steps. Now, let's discuss a practical application scenario for using Nuclei in vulnerability scanning. Imagine an industrial facility that employs DSE855 devices. In this real-world context, we face a specific exploit that permits unauthorized access to backup configurations. The impact of this vulnerability can be quite severe. Firstly, it can lead to the disclosure of stored credentials, which poses significant security risks. Secondly, the vulnerability holds the potential for manipulation or disruption of power control operations, which could have serious implications for facility operations and safety. By employing a customized Nuclei template, such as the one for CVE 2024-5947, we can actively scan for and address these vulnerabilities, significantly mitigating potential impacts. This enables us to preemptively secure the facility's infrastructure against such threats. On this slide, we will discuss the best practices and mitigation strategies for enhancing the security of your industrial facility using DSE855 devices. It's crucial to implement these measures to prevent unauthorized access and potential exploitation. First, segmentation is key. Restrict access to DSE855 devices by placing them in trusted network segments. This ensures that only authorized personnel and systems have access, reducing the risk of unauthorized intrusions. Next, keep your devices up to date. Regular updates and patches are essential. They often contain fixes for known vulnerabilities. By ensuring your DSE855 devices have the latest firmware and software, you reduce the risk of exploitation. Lastly, focus on encryption. Sensitive data, including backups, should be encrypted. Encryption protects this data from being easily accessed or tampered with by unauthorized individuals. By following these general mitigation strategies, segmentation, regular updates, and encryption, you can significantly enhance the security posture of your industrial facility and safeguard against potential threats. As we continue with our discussion on mitigation strategies, this slide covers authentication strategies that can significantly enhance the security posture of your systems. First, let's talk about custom authentication. Implementing tailored authentication mechanisms for critical functions can add an additional layer of security. Custom authentication strategies enable you to address specific security requirements and integrate them seamlessly within your operational processes. Next, centralized authentication is another robust approach. Using centralized authentication systems like LDAP or OAuth helps streamline and secure user access across different applications and services. These systems not only simplify management, but also provide enhanced security features, such as single sign-on, SSO, and multi-factor authentication, MFA, reducing the risk of unauthorized access. Incorporating these authentication strategies can fortify your defenses against potential threats, aligning with the best practices we've discussed earlier. In conclusion, CVE 2024-5947 represents a significant risk that must not be ignored. The process of exploitation is surprisingly straightforward, yet can have severe consequences. It's vital to implement regular vulnerability assessments in your security strategy to identify and mitigate such risks promptly. Staying up to date on patches and adhering to industry best practices are critical steps in maintaining a robust security posture. For those looking to deepen their understanding of CVE 24-5947 and its implications, I highly recommend exploring these further reading materials. 1. NVD CVE Details. The National Vulnerability Database provides an in-depth analysis and up-to-date information on CVE 2024-5947. 2. Zero-Day Initiative Advisory. This resource offers insights from cybersecurity experts and detailed advisories on zero-day vulnerabilities, including CVE 2024-5947. 3. Aqua Security Database. Aqua Security provides a specialized database focusing on container security, which can help you understand the broader impacts of this vulnerability in modern environments. These references will help you stay informed and better equipped to manage and mitigate the risks associated with CVE 2024-5947. Thank you for watching this course. I hope you found the content valuable and informative. If you enjoyed what you learned, please leave a like and drop a comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated with future content. And if you think this course could benefit others, feel free to share it with your friends and colleagues. Your engagement and support help us create more quality content. Thank you.